Hello students, this is Sumit Bose and I am from the Bodhi Academy. Today we are going to discuss on geography on the chapter agriculture, okay? Part 1. Agriculture. The transformation of plants to finished products involve three types of economic activities. Okay, so the transformation plants. Okay, where do we get food grains from? Plants, right? So rice, we get rice from rice plants, wheat from wheat grains. Okay, so these are also plants. So this entire transformation are done in three stages. Okay, these are primary, secondary and tertiary activities. Okay, primary, secondary and tertiary activities. So today we are going to discuss on primary activities. What are primary activities? Okay, what is the definition of primary activities? Okay, which are the jobs or which are the works which comes under this primary activity? Okay, so without any further delay, let's start. Primary activities include all those connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Okay, so primary activities are those activities which are directly connected with extraction and production of natural resources. Okay, we are using the natural resources, that is also a primary activity, and we are extracting the natural resources and using them. Okay, and using them for production of natural resources are known as primary activities. So what are the examples of primary activity? Agriculture, fishing and gathering are good examples. Okay, agriculture, fishing and gathering. Okay, so let's move on to this first one. This is agriculture. Agriculture is a primary activity. Okay, in the world 50% of the persons are engaged in agricultural activity. So half of the world's population are engaged in agricultural activity. Okay, 2/3 of India's population is still involved in this activity. So most of India's economy even today is depending on agriculture, and half of the world's population are involved in agricultural activity. Okay, so agricultural activity also plays a very significant role in a country's economy. Okay, now today we are going to discuss types of farming. Okay, the first one is subsistence farming. What is subsistence farming? This type of farming is done to meet the needs of a farmer's family. So this type of farming is done only to meet the needs of a farmer's family, nothing more than that. So low level technology is used here. So we can call, or we can symbolize, thus we can symbolize subsistence farming as a personal activity, because only the farmer's family is getting the benefit of the production. Okay, it is not done in commercial purpose. Okay, so and it is done in a low scale. Okay, it is because it is only to meet his needs, its personal, the farmer's families and the farmer's personal needs. Okay, so low level technology is used here. So this is the number one. Okay, second one is shifting cultivation. Number two. So what is shifting cultivation? This type of farming is done in thickly forested areas, that is Amazon basin, parts of Africa, parts of Southeast Asia. Why thickly forested areas? Listen, this is the reason. How do they do the shifting cultivation? In this farming, a plot of land is cleared and trees are burned down and ashes gets mixed with the soil. So they select a certain plot of land. they burn down the trees. Okay, so what happened, the ashes get mixed with the soil. Okay, then farming is done. After that farming is done. Generally what do they do in farming? Potatoes, maize, yam, etc. Okay, after the soil loses its fertility, the farmer moves to a new plot. So this is done. Okay, they selected an area, they burnt all the trees, after that they did the farming there. Okay, and after the soil loses its fertility, the farmer selects go in search of a new plot. Okay, next one is commercial farming. This is the most important. Okay, now commercial farming are those farming which are directly linked with commercial purposes. Commercial farmings are those farmings which are which has a direct link with commercial activities, or which is directly done to fulfill commercial purposes. Okay, so it is done in huge scale. So look at the basic features. We will look at the basic features of it. Okay, the area cultivated and the amount of capital invested is large. Why? Because this is done on a large scale. So if you want to do farming on a large scale, the amount of capital which needs to be invested is also going to be large. Okay, this type of farming, most of the work is done by machines. Okay, most of the work is done by machines. Okay, because it's a huge area and they need ready production so they can produce again. Crops are grown for commercial purposes. Okay, in this type of farming, solely crops are grown for commercial purposes only. Wheat and maize are generally grown as commercial grains. Okay, wheat, maize, these are generally grown as commercial grains. So what are the features of commercial farming? The area should be big. In simple words, the area cultivated area will be big and the amount of capital invested is large. This type of farming is mostly done by the machines. This type of farming is done for only commercial purposes. Wheat and maize are generally used as production as commercial grains. Okay, so we will go to the last type of farming, that is nomadic herding. It is practiced in semi-arid or arid regions in Sahara, Central Asia and some parts of India. Okay, so where is it practiced? Areas of Sahara, Central Asia and some parts of India. In this type of farming, herdsmen move from place to place with their animals for food and water along defined routes. So what happens in this farming, it's not a core farming, it's called more like rearing. Okay, what do? They move from place to place, okay, with their animals, food and water, okay, with defined routes. Okay, where will they go? The animals provide milk, meat, wool, etc. to the herders. Okay, so whenever so the herders economy is totally based on the animals. So whenever they find they are always in search for a good place. So why it is done, why is this type of farming is done? Because due to weather conditions, if the weather conditions are too much high or too much low, then many herders move along with their animals with a certain route along with food and water. So this type of farming is known as the nomadic herding. Okay, so I hope you understood today, and today is for till here we will do. I hope you understood the chapter, and soon we will be coming with part 2. I hope you all understood it, and for more information and details please contact the Bodhi Academy, and please hit like, comment and subscribe.